The opinions you're about to see are not based on owning one Ford truck. I've owned every diesel engine that Ford has made in the last 19 years. I've bought brand new at least a dozen, maybe even 15 different Ford pickup trucks within that time frame. So what you're about to see is based on a collective and not any single year, make, or model that Ford has provided. But don't have to take my word for it, because I bring a couple other people in that also own Ford trucks and get their opinions. How's the ride on those things?
Can't even talk on the phone. You're like, oh yeah, you know. That's the worst ride I've ever had in a truck.
As far as I'm concerned, Ford lied to me. Now, I view trucks as tools and not toys. Every single truck, it's not made for show, it's made to go. So if you're looking to get an opinion on what the best truck is to go off-roading, I've never done that. But if you're looking to get an opinion on what the best truck is to take to work, to make you a living, to pay your bills, to feed your family, then this is the video for you. And that's the criteria that I base my decisions on. So let's get into it. Oh, and one last thing before we dive into this, please share your experiences in the comments down below, because the people watching this video may be trying to decide whether Ford is right for them or not, and they're going to be going through your comments to help them make that decision. So please share your experiences down below. Hey Siri, what's the temperature out?
It's 8 degrees outside.
It's getting warmer.
It is getting warm.
So that's actually pretty nice out. Ford trucks are always been pretty damn reliable, but far from perfect. And in fact, I think some of the older Ford trucks are better than what the newer Ford trucks are doing, because the older Ford trucks, you could actually take your own set of wrenches out and repair. Now they've made these Ford trucks so technologically advanced, and now I'm saying this in air quotes, technologically advanced, that the average person can't keep their own truck running. And the problem is, they're not building them so that they keep their own trucks running, where it's 8 degrees out today. But I've had 2007s and older that forget it. We used to have to put heat blankets we had to put blankets over the top of them to keep them, so when you got bitterly cold, plug them in, put a blanket over the top of it, and that would be the only way you'd get it to roll. And then, now if you're in the market for an older Ford diesel truck, something from 2015 or earlier, you can't necessarily believe what they tell you about the fuel economy and performance of those engines. I'm driving down the road and I'm getting like 9. And I call the guy up, and I'm like 100 miles down the road. He's like, oh, it has to break in for a minute. No, it doesn't have to break in for a minute, because it never got above 12 or 13 miles to the gallon. The guy lied to me, just bald-faced lied to me. And the problem is, it wasn't just the rep that lied, it's Ford claiming that they're able to get 15, 18, 20 miles per gallon on a diesel truck. I wasn't towing anything. I didn't have a plow in the front. There was no reason why I wasn't getting what they claimed. But when you call them out on it, all they have is excuses. Now, Ford never did resolve any of the fuel economy issues I had with any of my diesel trucks. I guess I just got used to being screwed over by them. Now on this thing, this was one thing that I absolutely hate about this truck. It doesn't sound like it's just one thing. This thing, when you start this up, it'll randomly clean. I don't know what the hell it's cleaning. All of it goes into this regen mode, and this truck starts smoking and it loses power, and you're going down the road, you feel like you're in a James Bond movie, because anybody that's behind you clears out because they want to be able to see while they're driving down the road. And this thing will go choo, 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 choo. Just one bad experience after another with Ford trucks has led me to believe that I can't trust them. Okay, so the two F-250 boys are talking, they got identical trucks. Is that right?
Yeah, that'd be true.
What year is yours, Elliot?
2012.
And ours is a 2015?
14, I think.
14?
Yeah.
And the
15.
ride?
15 was the first year of the aluminum bodies.
How's the ride on those things?
That's the worst ride I've ever had in a truck.
I haven't had many problems with it. I mean, the Ford solid front axle is going to be worse than any of the other trucks on the market. The main place I notice it is on 35E. You're just boom, 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 boom. I don't know what it is. This truck's the only truck that I have a problem with it on, and I think it's...
Tim, yours?
Yeah, it just throws you pretty good. I don't know, having the plow on the front too, that does whatever. It just seems the time you get in sync with the road and you're just can't even talk on the phone. You're like, oh yeah, you know.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, try to find a different lane. Sometimes that works, but if you're...
There's one struts where it's really bad.
I've never had a truck do that.
I don't know if it's a combination of the solid front axle and then maybe the extended cab long box.
I actually did drive that truck up north a weekend or two ago when you were off elk hunting.
Yeah, for business, right?
No, he was really out. He was really hunting elk.
No, you were driving the truck up north for business, right?
Sure, Winkalink. And it did suck. It was like, yeah, it was. Yeah, now you guys are mentioning it, I'm like, holy crap.
Hey, talking to customers on the phone and you gotta like hold your breath or you're like, yeah, I'll sort it. You know, like Macho Man or something.
Put it in cruise and elevate your seat out of the...
So then the question is, knowing what you know now, you first, Elliot, would you rebuy that truck?
Absolutely. I love the trucks. I love the Ford trucks. I like all the brands, but for me, Ford trucks are more versatile. I like the solid front axle, especially if you're gonna put a plow on.
Fanboy.
It's true. It's true.
All right, what about you?
I'd do a diesel truck.
Well, yeah, okay, let's be realistic. Let's say you don't have an extra 6 to 10 grand to pop in for a diesel engine. Would you rebuy that truck?
Not for what I use it for.
What would you buy?
I don't like it with plowing. I like Ford.
Well, right, but if you wouldn't buy that truck, what would you buy?
I'd like a diesel F350. Or diesel.
I don't know.
I like those.
All right, and now I've had the 7.3 and all the diesels since then. Only when I like. Yeah.
Really?
I got rid of it ASAP.
Well, yeah.
And the 7.3 is the only one since they came out that I would rebuy. I'm done with them.
I wouldn't mind it.
Says the person with a 6.4.
That's a good engine.
Yeah, that's okay. It's not
150,000 miles.
It's not great. I mean, there's nothing.
The 6.4 is the best engine Ford's made for the first 150,000 miles, and then you just start running into all kinds of issues.
Now, all of the 6.0 liter diesel engines that I've owned by Ford have been train wrecks. If you're looking at buying one of those, be very cautious. But the 6.4 or the 6.0's big brother has been fairly problem-free, delivering plenty of power besides that annoying regen issue. Behind the 7.3 liter, which has been my favorite diesel engine by Ford of all time.
Well, that engine's really tough on fuel, but you need something that can pull trailers and skiddies around.
Now, we've moved away from buying new diesel trucks and have been experimenting with gas engines and having pretty good results. But I guess that depends on who you ask. What engine's tough on fuel?
This one, man, they suck. It sucks it down.
It's a 6.2. I average about 11.5 without towing. I get like 8 when I'm towing.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you get the plow on and a bobcat behind it, you're
okay, but that's where I'm going to go right back to talking about the diesels where I was promised 18, 20 miles a gallon when I bought it. That was part of the...
That year sucked, though. Your 2008 you got? Is that an 8?
I don't remember. No, I'm talking about way back when. And I'm like, I called him up. I'm driving down the road. I'm going, hey, I'm getting 8 miles a gallon going down the road, not towing anything, 55 miles an hour. He's like, oh, it just needs to be broken in. Yeah, he was freaking pulling my chain because I would have turned around and returned it right then and there. So as far as I'm concerned, Ford lied to me multiple times, and I just kept buying into the lie over and over again. I think I'm done with. I think the next one, if I can find a Chevy or a Dodge, it's the same price as a Ford, I'm done. I'm gonna go for it.
Go for the Dodge.
Yeah, I like the. I don't know if they all have it, and then they don't all have the heavy-duty trannies. And
Cummins is the best diesel out on the market, though.
I'll have to agree with you.
But the Allison transmission and the Chevys you can't go wrong with.
I thought that was wasn't the Allisons in the Dodge?
I don't know if they have them in the Dodge. I know, but all Chevy Duramaxes have Allisons, and actually some of their gas trucks have Allisons. And for plowing with back and forth on the reverse and forward, you want a sturdy transmission.
Well, yeah, Allisons I've never had a problem with any Allison transmission. Now, actually, I'm going to tell you that I like the Ford gassers more than the diesels now. They fire up, they run better. I don't have to worry about them gelling when it gets excessively cold. I've seen absolutely no benefit to running a diesel truck over a gas truck in the form of power. I can put a skid loader on this thing and it pulls it without any issue. The fuel economy has been absolutely the same as with a diesel truck. They claim you get better fuel economy out of a diesel truck, but you don't because they're lying. Gee, Stan, why don't you tell us how you really feel? Because I'm living proof. I've seen it. I've filled the trucks up and not got any benefits to having a diesel truck other than a little bit more power. Like the power that I need these things to do, I'm never maxing them out. That's why I'm using F250s and F350s. If I needed the absolute max power, the absolute max performance out of a truck, I would go with a 450, a 550, I would go with a bigger truck that would give me the better performance. But for what I'm doing and for what a lot of you guys are probably doing out there on your own, you don't need that excess power. So why put the extra $10,000 into the engine in the front end of it and you're not going to pull it out on the back end of it? Guys, you are not going to get the extra fuel economy out of that truck. It kicks and it wastes your gas is what we call these trucks, plain and simple. They're not bad trucks. They just don't live up to what they claim they can do. Now, for some of these guys watching this video, they're gonna probably comment down below the benefits to Ford is the ability to wrench on them themselves, to fix them themselves. You're never gonna find me with a wrench in my hand trying to fix on a truck. And if some of you guys are like that, that's great. I used to do that, but now what I try to do is I try to stay behind the steering wheel of the truck. I'm either snow plowing with it, I'm either pulling machinery to or from job sites, because those are the things that make you the money. When you're wrenching on a truck, those are the things that are saving you money, but you shouldn't have to wrench on a truck. If it lives up to the way that you expect it to perform, you shouldn't have to spend your evenings and weekends keeping your truck running. These things, for the amount of money, the investment we put in it, the technological advances they claim they are giving to these trucks, should mean that you freed up your time. Your evenings and weekends are yours again. I want to show you how we do these trucks. Every single truck, it's not made for show, it's made to go. So when you hop in, this is my personal truck. I love this truck. I don't trust them, but I love them. They don't live up to what they tell you they'll do, but it's still better than nothing. Vinyl floors, check it out. Vinyl floors, as plain Jane. This truck is literally, guys, as plain as I could possibly get it. In fact, the sister truck to this one has window cranks. I like window cranks. Still gets the job done, right? Keeps the windows down. That's it. The only option this truck has is power windows. And is there any other options on this, Andy?
Nope.
Do you like running this truck?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah. I mean, it's easy, it's simple. I would almost rather go as simple than
fancy.
Hard. I mean, look at the window thing. You gotta replace the motor if it goes out.
Yep.
Crank ones?
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple
That's
crank.
the way I like it. So, guys, this is not my video though. This is your guys' video. This is your format. Tell me about your experience with Ford trucks. Good, bad, or in between, because everybody that's watching this that is trying to decide if they want to buy a Ford, they're gonna go through these comments, and a lot of people look at the comments more than they look at the video. So your guys' opinion is the most important thing that we can share in this video. So make sure you comment down below. Tell us your experiences with Ford. And yes, we all know the old cliche, what is it? Fixed or
found on roadside dead.
Found on road.
Fix or repair daily.
Fix or repair daily.
They all got them though.
Yeah, they all got them.
They all got them.
Every single one. So you don't have to bother doing that. Just tell us your actual real world experiences with your Ford, the year it was, and that way guys that are shopping for their own truck can make a better purchasing decision. Thank you. God bless. Go get them.